I am saying there's some people, we don't know their situation. He would beat the life of her if she don't want to have sex. He not using no protection. And she just keep having children. Now I think she had her 8th child. But she was supposed to get through with tying her tube. I don't know if she got through because, in the health facility, she don't have money to pay to get it done. She have to wait until they give her appointment, whatever. And I'm saying all this to say they have no money, social welfare giving problems. And that's another thing. Social welfare officers will go to these homes. They would see the condition. They know the children not going to school. And yet they give them so much problem to give them these grants. And then if you go and you check and the child still not going to school, a grant with minor money, that little bit of money on that grant could barely buy food for them, much more to send them to school. And then they would pull it back. Listen, we need an intervention, okay? And then you hear of people who are getting the same grant of a different race who don't need it like these people. And sometimes they do worse and they're still getting it. So there is where the ethnic confusion comes. You wonder if it's really a racial thing that is taking place, or if they're just overlooking certain things, or if money is being passed so that something needs to happen, Hadassah. Something have to happen. Or else I'm telling you, and those who are viewing, it is going to be messy and crazy in this country. Because the people on the ground are getting fed up. There are a lot of suicide taking place. We know that. Those who, they don't even go on news. A lot of people, young people are taking their lives. Not all goes on the news. Young people, men, more men now than even women, because they're frustrated. And they say before they had to go and do something and go in jail, they prefer to kill themselves. What is happening? And these are the people, let me say this, the people who we go and campaign to come and vote for us. And we see them in these conditions, and then we say, yeah, we would help you. And when they win, you don't ever see them. You don't see them.
Yeah.
And if the party they're supporting, the candidates campaign didn't win, worse yet, they're telling you, well, we didn't win. So because it didn't win, they're stupid enough to believe them that they don't get nothing. People like myself and others, we know different. What I am saying, the time has come for change to take place in our country, because I am not going to make it overwhelm me. I do what I can do. I help who I can help. But the onus is on the government that is elected by the people and put in our parliament to ensure that the people get some sort of relief to the frustration that is taking place now amongst especially the African community. It's not the only community that is suffering, because I've met Indian people as well who are poor and I mean, don't have a place to really lay their head. But in the masses, it is the African community. And everybody could say what they want. They like it so, and they're doing that. And they need to be empowered. We have a responsibility as government. When government is there, they have a responsibility to go and look for these people, take them and train them, take the children, have good homes. Are there homes? They have NGOs who had homes. They're not getting any money. They're not getting anything to help and to support women nor child. Nothing is happening. Under the People's Partnership, there were things happening and there was assistance, but there is nothing now. So if the people still want to go and put their hands in the ink for a government of people who don't care about them, so be it. We can't do anything about it, Hadassah, but we would hope that they would make the right choice, because clearly these are the parties that is around. I've been looking at some of them. I don't have time for all of that. And the PNM, surely, if they put the PNM back in power, well, you give them ammunition now to shoot every one of you. Because they don't care. They don't care. I look at the eviction. I look at the happenings with the commissioner of police. I mean, when you look at these situations, you wonder, are they doing what is right for our country? Are their leaders thinking about what they're doing. It's all about themselves and who they can help and their finances. And they want to dictate other agencies that they shouldn't be dictating, that's supposed to have independence. It doesn't have that in this country.
Yeah.
And everybody have to lie and put up and hide for this one and that. And then you know, who are the people that take the blows, even in these agencies? I look at Earl and I said, Mr. Hadid, who is the person that they say bring in the weapons? What kind of person is him? They didn't hold him and lock him up. But our commissioner of police, who is of African descent, and I'm not ashamed to say it because I see it all the time, that is the one they target. So whether she's innocent or she's guilty, she's in the hot seat, right? And there's so much that is happening around that scenario. I don't want to say anything about it. I want to see it play off. I want to see what is going to be happening as we go along. Because now you have an acting commissioner of police and you have a acting deputy as well. So let's see how it's going to play out. We as a people, we just really need to come together. We need to stand together and demand together. If we want to do it by ourselves, we would never get through. We will not.
Yeah.
And it is the African people who have all of them where they are. The PNM cannot win without the African masses vote, and so is the UNC. They cannot win without the African masses vote. The Syrians' business wouldn't go anywhere if the African people don't spend their money. Because let me tell you something, the African people spend more money than probably 60, 70% of the other races in this country.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because the Syrians and them, they say it, I know, they're 1%. They're very small, but they're most wealthy. Whose money? You know, we don't like to talk about these elephants. We don't like to talk about it. Even the my Indian brothers and sisters, the African people, we don't know how to save. We like to spend out our money. We don't like to save, but there have to be some level of training and empowerment so we know how to manage our finances, know how to manage our lives. We don't, because we have not been taught. Know how to respect our men. The African woman need to know how to respect their man. The African man needs to know how to love the woman. And I'm talking about the African community. Because we don't.
And then it's also unfortunate that you see so many of them crash and burn. Like I remember just being so inspired and excited about like Farley and the in Tobago, and for a little while Winston Duke and um you know,
I
and
was
then
elated. I was feeling so good,
and
and
then
I was like, okay. But then when you listen to them, Hadassah, would have been really so much different from the PNM? You think? You think they would have treated people? Because this is it. They coming up to the election, everybody talking nice, they helping this one. And when they get in there, and you see what took place after?
I mean, and to that end, it is why I am also skeptical about anybody getting in there, even the UNC, because I mean we need to speak to human nature. So the point is that nobody is a guarantee. Nobody
Nobody
is
is
a
a guarantee,
guarantee.
but you know for a fact, okay, the two major parties is PNM and UNC, and I would not put my head on a block for anyone. But I know for a fact what we getting from PNM. Are we going to put PNM back? We have an idea that under the UNC it's going to be better. It may not be all that we are hoping for, but it is going to be better because you have a leader who is responsible and who has the task of ensuring, if they do it right, ensuring that her ministers do what is right.
I don't know, Esther. I am not that optimistic.
I
Um
am.
I feel
I
like
am when it comes to Mrs. Kamala Prasad Bisasa,
I still feel like his
but I surely not with Dr.
we-
Keith Rowley
yeah, we
or
only know
Minister
when
Young.
we
I am
know.
surely not optimistic at
Yeah,
all. At
we only
all.
know when we know. I that's just the nature of it. It's um just such a nasty game, and a lot of times just very disappointing and
And that is how much
disheartening.
people on the ground are feeling right now, just how you are feeling. A lot of people on the ground, some of them are saying they're not going to vote for no party. It doesn't make a difference. And, you have to have a party that is going to look after the needs of the people and the resources of our nation. You must put a party. So saying you're not going to vote is not going to help the situation. We may
No,
end up like
no, it's
Haiti
not.
or
But
worse.
you spoke about the fact that there are so many new players as well, and I feel
Yes.
like when you observe the PNM operating a certain way, you could only like conclude that they are not threatened, right? I think the PNM knows for sure that they've done a really good job at what's the word, doctrinating their base, right? So that you would find that the people who sit on the sidelines, people who don't vote, might start to look at other parties and whatnot. But the core PNM vote, they are very, very focused voters.
Yeah,
They are very, very focused
I agree
voters.
with that one.
And while, yeah, we have UNC again, we also have all these other smaller parties who I feel will not hurt the PNM. They will only hurt the UNC. They could only take votes from the UNC because just the way that PNM voters vote, people will be like, let me see what Michaela's saying. Let me see what Timothy Hamilsmith's saying. Let me see what Kizel's saying. Let me see what these others saying. And it's I don't know, I think it's just important to just pay attention to what is happening. I've also been noticing that Stuart Young is out there. He is giving the appearance of someone who is coming in and it's going to be a new regime and he's going to be doing things different. I'm not saying it is so. I'm just
I know.
saying that so far they have done a really good job at positioning him as a new era and a new dispensation for the PNM. And, I don't see that happening on the UNC side. The thing about it is, Esther, we have to get real. It is not enough to just want UNC there because we know it's going to be better. We just have to look at the optics, how it looks, how it plays in the minds of the voters. And just looking at the two, in my opinion, I just think at this point, I find the UNC is looking very scattered and very weak.
We have issues, like the PNM do have issues as
Yeah,
well. And I am going to continue to pray for the best.
yeah.
Whatever happen, it's the people's choice. And when that take place, when the election is called and whoever win, they have to deal with whatever they put there.
And that's the
And that
thing.
is my thing. But I am still saying, yes, like you said, the UNC is going to be better. I believe that our leader under the UNC is going to make a lot of changes. It would not be like when she was there before. While she was the best prime minister for most people, I know it's going to be better because the errors that you make the first time, you don't expect to make it the second time. And yes, there are issues within our UNC camp that they need to sort out. People, the individuals, she can look over everybody head and shoulder. She can only talk and tell them and discipline them as she goes along. And what I notice is that she has been choosing a lot of different persons, putting people who she believe has a heart for the people. When I talk with some of them, You got a feeling that, yes, they're here to work for the people. And we just have to trust that they're going to do what is right. And I believe if they don't, she's going to discipline them.